Hi guys, welcome to the workshop. So Dan from Taylors Mirfield is having a raffle and all the proceeds are going to go to Blind Veterans UK and Pens for Heroes. So he's asked the community if we'd like to make some pens or provide some blanks or things for the raffle. So what I've done is I've turned a few pens. I've turned 5 pens and I'm going to have 5 videos. So whoever's lucky enough to win one of those pens can watch the pen being made. I've got 5 pens in total that I'm giving to Dan for the raffle. I've got an Omega pen, 2 Epsilons and 2 Zeta pens. A couple with wood and 3 with blanks that I made myself as well. So in this video we're going to be making this Taylors Mirfiled Zeta pen with this custom blue blank that I made myself. So if you carry on watching you'll see how this pen is made from start to finish, and I hope you enjoy watching. So let me show you the blank. Let me zoom you in on that blank. So I've got in there some purple, some blue mica powder and also some white mica powder in there. First we need to do is cut the blank to length. So let's get the brass tube out, trim a bit of the end off. I'm going to leave a couple of millimetres. Okay, so I've now marked that. Let's head over to the miter saw and we can cut it up. So we've now cut that to length. Let's head over to the pillar drill and we can drill a hole in the middle. Okay, we will put the blank in there like so. We want to plumb that blank up, tighten that down. Let's raise the bed a bit. Wrong way. Okay, so we can now drill. We've now drilled the hole in the end of the blank. What we need to do is glue the brass tube in there. So let's head over to the bench and get that done. Come on over. So for this, we're going to use Gorilla PU glue. It's quite slow setting, takes a few hours to set. But what I tend to do is I tend to let it set overnight. That way we've got a very good bond. So first thing to do is we've got the tube, get a bit of sandpaper, rough it on up. Rough it on up. Give that a good old sand. Just make sure it goes in nicely. Goes in nice. Right, okay, dust that off. Got some Gorilla Glue here. We'll apply that to the ends. Apply that to one end, just run a ring around the end, like so. Okay, get the blank, put it in, rotate it as we go and slide it in and out. Okay, you can have a look inside and you can see if it's got good glue coverage, which it has. We'll put a bit more around the other end where I was holding it. Again, just another bead around the end. And then we'll go to the opposite end of the blank. Again, rotating, sliding up and down, checking that we've got good glue coverage, sticking it back in, wiping off any excess glue on the tissue. And then we want the brass tube equidistant inside the blank. It doesn't have to be precise because we're going to trim it down. Got a bit of excess glue there. We get a cotton bud and I tend to go in there and just make sure no glue's got inside the brass tube. You can take it out when it's hardened, but might as well remove it now if we can. So there you go, I've cut the blank to length, I drilled the hole in the middle on the pillar drill, I then glued the brass tube in there. We're going to leave that overnight to cure. We'll come back tomorrow, put it on the lathe and then we can get turning. So, see you in the morning. So it's the next day now, guys, and the glue is dried overnight. What we need to do is trim the end of this barrel, because if you remember when we cut this blank, we made it a couple of millimeters longer either end. That's so we can get a barrel trimmer, put that in there and trim it down to the brass tubes. So over here at the pillar drill, we're going to put our barrel trimming bit in there. You can do it by hand in an electric drill, but I've got the pillar drill, I might as well use it. So we're going to clamp that in there gently. We're going to lower this down all the way, and what that does is make sure that the blank is nice and true. Ah, I forgot my safety specs. There we go, we can just see the brass there. We turn it over and we'll do the second side. There we go. We've drilled that down to the brass tube. You can see the brass tube in there now. It's flush with the ends. Can you see that? Yep. And then the other end, you can see the brass tube there, look. So now we've done that, it's ready to put on the lathe. So let's head over to the lathe and start turning. What we need to do is get the Taylors Mirfield pen bushes. Got a design for this Zeta pen that we're going to be making. 2 bushes, both the same size. One in one end, one in the other. Let's put that on the lathe. Okay, so we just mounted it on the lathe, but before I go and turn it, what I want to do is sharpen up my roughing gouge a bit. So let's head over to the linen shirt and give it a sharpen. Okay, so let's turn the lathe on. Yeah, it's looking good. Now we can sand. First one I do on a block. Let's move up to 240. Okay, that's 240. Let's go with the blank now along its length. That just helps when it comes to making sure I've got all the scratches out. So we'll do 320. Now 400. Again along the body. Okay, let's go. Now move to 600 grit. Okay, we've just got along the body on the 800. We just dry sanded up to 800 grit. Now we'll wet sand 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000 Merca Abralon. Little spray of water. Turn her on. 1000 grit. Now 2000 grit. 3000 grit. Finally 4000 grit. So we've just wet sanded 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000 grit. Next thing we need to do is apply some polishes. We're going to start with the raw 610. Then we'll move on to the 3M Extra Fine Plus. And then finally we'll finish off with the 3M Anti-Hologram. Apply it to the cloth and get polishing. It's not a safety cloth, but I'm going to put it in my hands like this. If it ever gets pulled out, it won't trap my fingers. Now we'll move on to the 3M Extra Fine Plus. We'll finish with the 3M Anti-Hologram. That is looking absolutely awesome. I'm so impressed with that. Let's take it off the lathe. That is looky at that. Let me zoom you in on that. Do it about there, I suppose. I don't know if you can see that really well. So what we can do now is head over to the workbench and we can put the Taylors Mirfiled Zeta pen kit on it. Let's head over there and do that. Got all the parts out of their little bags, all protected really well, which I really like from Dan's pens. Every sort of part is in its own individual little plastic bag. They're a bit annoying to get out of the plastic bags, but what it means is they're not going to be scratched when they turn up. So we've got all the parts there, all laid out. All the parts are there. So we get the blank, have a quick look at it, see if there's a preference to which way it goes. I really like this blank. Blue's my favourite. Okay, so we'll start with the nib. Put the nib in there. I've got this arbor press. I'm not a fan of the arbor press. I bought it without knowing that you could get pen presses when I first started, but I don't like it. It's just too big and bulky. So there we go, we've got the nib part in. Next we'll do the clip. Same process. Put it in there, press it down. There we go, that's a pen clip on there. Get the mechanism, screw the mechanism in. That's on there nice and tight. Screw the cap on, push the cap on rather. That's on there. And then we unscrew the nib on the end, the part on the end like there. That's how you get the refill in and out. It's a standard Parker refill. Got the spring. Refill in. Screw the nib bit back on. Pen's coming. So there we go, there's the Taylors Mirfiled Zeta pen and a custom blank I made myself. Really enjoyed making that pen. They're great pen kits, these ones, and the blank's awesome if I do say so myself. So I'll put some photos up at the end so you can have a close look at this. If you're the lucky winner of this pen, congratulations, and thanks very much for supporting the raffle. The money is going to two very good worthy charities. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I'll see you again soon.